Hello, 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 hello. If you are new here, welcome. We are welcoming you here with a warm heart, with a warm spirit, with a warm soul. I love you. Before we even go further, let me just tell you that I love and appreciate you so much. Thank you for bumping into this video. Thank you for clicking if you have clicked to this video. For my returnings, for my returning subbies, for the family, welcome back, honey. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I love and appreciate you, you know. So, as you can see from the title of this video, today we are going to talk about how I came about recording my album. So, without further ado, let me narrate for you, babies. Let me narrate for you, family. Okay, so what happened was, what happened is, so like I was just chilling. I remember I was chilling in my bed. I was in Pretoria. I remember I used to stay with this other Tsonga girl. I remember that day, guys, I was not feeling it. Like, was not okay. Like, spiritually or mentally, I don't know. What I know is that I was not okay. So I was just lying in my bed there, and then I received a call from my oxygen. For those of you who don't know who my oxygen is, please go to my first video, then you will get to understand, baby. So I received a call. So this girl is like, yo. So she's like, I was thinking of giving you a little something, you know? So it's like, little something. She's like, yeah, I was thinking of giving you a little something. And then she starts explaining, like, can you go better, baby? Like, get it, can you go better? And then, like, guys, I did not, if I am to tell you, I did not spend more than 2 seconds. I was like, Anev, with that money, I am going straight to the studio. So, like, when I grew up, guys, I've always had my favorite artist, right? So I was listening to Indo, I was listening to Rofhiwa Manyaga, Benjamin Dube, like, those were my people. And I think I like those people because I think I'm a worship kind of girl, you know, like, if I'm to regularly, if that word is in context with what I'm saying. If it's not, you must mix 1 + 1. I'm not doing that. English, I see. It's not my mother tongue, you understand? So I was like, yeah, like I'm saying, like I grew up listening to a lot of worship songs than praise songs. So that's what I prefer. Even when I sing at church, like, you'll hardly find me singing a Kuchi Kuchi. By the way, that's a song that everyone knows me with in the church that I'm currently. But like, to cut it short, like, I don't really enjoy praise songs. So I've always been that worship kind of girl. And everyone that I would listen to should be a person that is like a worship kind of person. So if you check the people that I've also mentioned, like, they are more into worship than praise. Or I enjoyed more of their worship than their praise songs. I remember the first person that I called was Indo. I was like, hello, how are you? This is Musa. How much is recording? So he was like, recording is this much. I was like, I was like, eh? What you saying? Like, what are you saying to me? So when I heard that Taiki's prices were above my, you know, I was like, okay, second option. So I called Ruth, was like, hello, Ndimasiari, this is Musa, like, I'm ready, I want to record. So how much do you charge? So Ruth was like, I charge, I was like, Guys, was I not shook? The reason why I chose them is because these are my favorite local artists. And I was like, if Rofhiwa and Taki are charging me so much, if I'm to call Benjamin Dube, get a faint. I'm like, if I am to call the bishop right now, I'm dead. Like, financially, I am finished. Besides, like, even, it's not even being about finished, guys. I was just like, there's no way. If I can't report charging me this much, there's no way I am going to attempt to call the bishop. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I call Oxygen back for the first time after she gave me the offering or the present, whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, baby. She's like, I'm like, you know what? I thought about what I want to do with the offer. She's like, yeah, let's hear. I'm like, babes, I'm going to studio. So, yeah, she comes back to me later. She's like, okay, I'm going to help you. I'm like, oh, serious? She's like, yeah, I'm going to help you. So, right after that call, guys, and I call Manyaga back. I'm like, well, Manyaga, I'm ready. That time, guys, I don't have songs written down. Like, I don't have new songs. Like, you know, when you record an album, you must be ready song-wise. I do not have songs written down, whether new or old. Like, I do not have songs. But I take a leap of faith. I call into Manyaga. I'm like, Mr. Manyaga, Kimosa, I come back. I am ready with the money. He's like, oh, are you ready? I'm like, yeah. So he's like, when are you ready? I'm like, even now, if you tell me to stand up where I am now, you will see me pop. You will see me come. So he's like, oh, really? I'm like, look, bruh, like, I'm not going to waste any time. And guys, if I tell you that's the most, I don't want to say stupidest, but if I'm to say, that was the most biggest mistake I have made on my life. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. I don't know if that's the right thing, but if you are my person, you get it. If you don't get it, then you must just forget about it. Yeah, so like, bruh, I did not do anything. No preparation, no song, nothing. I take a phone. I call back Mr. Manyaga. I'm like, bruh, like, get ready. The money is ready. Are you ready for me? He's like, when are you ready? I'm like, with immediate effect. He's like, oh, okay. Can you come on this day? The day that he's giving me, guys, it's like, I called him in the afternoon around 2-3 p.m. right in the afternoon. And then he's like, can you come day after tomorrow around this time? I'm like, look, I'm there with you. I'm there at your place, in your space, with you. For me, though. Right? For me. So, like, yeah, after that, hey, guys, you must use this. Common sense sometimes is not common. My dad, Prophet K. Ishiwundla, once said, sometimes common sense can run away. And in that moment, I promise you mine, I don't know which window it used. I don't know which door it used, but mine flew. So after that, I have less than 72 hours. Instead of me sitting down and starting to draft words or looking at verses and writing songs, I continue making calls. I call Sister Ruth, which is my friend, my twin sister. I call her, I'm like, friend, you will not believe what just happened. She's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, we're doing this. I will be recording my first album in the next 72 hours. She's like, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'll be recording my first album in the next 72 hours. She's like, how? Then I spilled the tea. I start explaining. I start explaining like detail from detail. One understand that? Yeah, detail from detail. I'm like, but brah, I don't know where I'm going. I've never been to this place where I'm supposed to go and record. So you must cover me. And then she was excited as well. She's like, there's no way, friend. And yeah, I did not take my time to sit down to write songs. Yo, I sang it clown, guys. Me again, clown certified. So yeah, like the day comes, we wake up in the morning, me and my friends, and then we catch a taxi to the location. We get there in the afternoon. When we get there, excitement, in my mind, I'm like, songs born, I'm like an artist. I will write songs when I get there, you know. And then we're excited, we catch a taxi, we leave. We catch taxis, I don't know how many taxis we caught to get to that place. It was my first time, and I like, who shady guys, like who? Until you get there, like when you get there, the place is decent, but places where you catch taxis to actually go to the actual place. So, yeah, we finally get there. He's busy with someone else, you know, and he's like, welcome. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in Rofhiwa studio. You know, bear in mind, I still haven't written the songs that I'm supposed to record in less than 10 hours. So we get there, we find this lady. Oh my God, I forgot that lady's name, and I have burned. Like, she was so nice. She welcomed us. We watched TV. She made food. We even went out for like a mini grocery shopping with her. She even cooked for us. Like, she was so nice. So I remember around 7 that day that we arrived. Okay, now like later around 5, I'm starting to, like, it's like reality starting to kick in, and it's like, go, you are here with yourself in your pockets, but what are you gonna record? Like, let's be realistic. So I start calling Oxygen. I'm like, hey bruh, like, can you like suggest me a few songs? She's like, yeah, you can do this one. And you are not even prepared, you know. We are all just excited. So yeah, she offers me some songs, and I'm like, okay. You know, when you grow up, also like where I used to stay at Endermark, I used to have like mothers and fathers everywhere. So I was like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 who like me, So I'm just going to take their favorite songs and add them in the album. So that is exactly what I did. I was like, okay, Oxygen likes this one, I put it down. Who likes this one, I put it down. Yeah, so like we do that, we are done. Around, if I tell you that around 7, before like, yeah, past 6 to 7 I was done, you will not believe. 10 songs done. Nah. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I will cook the pots, and they'll be cooked. So around 7, Mr. Manyaga comes. She's like, girl, are you ready? I'm like, Bona. I could not be any readier. So we go to the studio. He's like, yeah, so are you ready? I'm like, bruh, can we begin already? Like, can we just start? Yeah, so we go in there. She's like, yeah, like, let me hear what you got, baby. I'm like, this is what I have, and these and these, and they say, and then she's like, yeah. And then we go to this other song. He's like, yeah, in my album also, my last album that I recorded, I wanted to do this song. I'm like, right, I'm on the right track. Kanti. So yeah, we start there. There's this lady who's there, right now. She's the wife of a bishop, someone, I will not mention her name. But when I tell you that people out there will sing for you or will minister for you, I was shook for a second. I was like, and like, what am I doing here? Between me and you are the one who's supposed to be behind that window. And I'm busy with my friend there. I'm like, hey, Kodan, hey. And one thing about me, like, I had this phobia where if I'm around people who are like, I can freeze. Like, I will go quiet, nje. Like I will just look at you and admire you and be like, Lord, can you just for a second remove that voice from her throat and put it in mine? Like just for the purposes of this album. Nah. But it can't happen. It didn't happen. So like we carry on. That lady, and the way she was singing, no effort, zero whatsoever. You know, like I am putting everything, effort, everything. So we do probably half of the songs and then we go to sleep. And then the next morning, 6 o'clock, they knock at the door. Hey, Antoana, let's continue with the work. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, by 11 o'clock, we'll be done with your album. I'm like, what you saying? What you saying to me? He's like, yeah, we'll be done. Day before, we finished around 10 in the evening, if not 11. But around 12, like I'm hearing him mixing, I'm hearing my voice. I'm like, I didn't do bad after all. So yeah, my friend, Freela, are you listening to your sis? And like guys, especially the first song, it's my favorite song in the album. Like I was like, I nailed it. That's why God removed the voice in that lady's throat and put it in mine. Like I was doing story of my life. If I tell you I've been a clown for years, I've been a clown for many years, you will not believe. So when we are done, he gives me a disc, one disc. I'm like, and no, give me a pile of CDs, baby. Like what you doing? Give me a pile of CDs. I didn't come here to play. You can't give me into a 1A. So yeah, like he gives me one CD. He's like, when you leave here, you are going to Ntate Mang Mang. You're going to make a cover of your album. And he charges how much? I'm like, like you must be kidding, right? And he's like, yeah. And then when you are finished there, you are going to another one who's going to make you a copy of your album. Like that's the one who'll give you the piles that you are demanding right now. I'm like, right now I am in the pits. There's no way that Oxygen is going to give me another whatsoever bag. Like there's no way. But I was so excited and I was like, Pella, we are almost halfway. So hey, I go back home. I don't call Oxygen. I'm in the taxi. I'm like, right now, in the palm of my hands, I'm holding my future. Yo, ngaze ngaba clown. So yeah, like that's what I did. I was in the taxi. I was so excited. I was like, hey, bona. The rest of the things, so I'm in the taxi with my friend. We are excited. I'm like, baby, like, TV is like, there's no way, you know. So I leave Vele. I get home. Now reality is starting to kikuri. You can't sell this to the people. So you need to make a plan, baby. Cut up my phone. I call Oxygen again. I'm like, bruv, kinale situation. He's like, hey girl, like, what's wrong? I'm like, bruh, I need another offer. But before that, like, I consulted with see how much is this going to make, how much is this going to make, so that when I go there, I go with a clear vision. As always, I try to convince the nigga. The nigga comes through for the girl. She's like, but I'm not gonna give you that. Like, you know, I give you know, parents sometimes. She's like, you don't have 10 rand, you know. So again, she comes through for the girl. I'm like, So I think the next day I wake up. Even the same day, because another one this one that was going to do my cover. Online. I was supposed to text the person on WhatsApp and tell him, this is what I want to do for you. This is what I want you to do for me. and blah blah blah. So I text that person. He's like, okay. Tomorrow by this time I'll be done. I'm like, eh? He's like, yeah, I'll be done by tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow I wake up, I make payments for the cover, and then I go to the one that's supposed to make my album copies. Like Empanche 100 elan neki demanda ko Rofhiwa is the one that this guy that I'm supposed to wake up and go to is going to do for me. So I go to that man or guy. I'm like, copies 100. Like, guys, if I tell you that I will perform for you. When I perform, I perform. I was like, bruh, instead of me going like, copies at 30, I was like, I need 100 copies with immediate effect. It's like, consider it done. As long as you have the bag, baby, I am for you. And I'm like, I'm receiving a lot of people who are for me. It's like, yeah, in 2 days, I'll be done. So I leave him with the money and the original copy of my CD, and then he does everything. In 2 days, he calls me. Was I not a celebrity? Was I not a celebrity? It's happening. It's coming together. Like, right? So yeah, like, that was that. I come back home, they do those copies. I'm like, I'm not going to waste time. Weekend, I'm going home. I need to give people these things. When I get home, people are so excited, like, and they've been waiting for me because I posted about it already on Facebook and my social media platforms. So people are excited. They're like, yo, Musa, you finally did it. I'm like, huh, you know what it is. You know me. I will perform. So I go home, people are excited, they buy. I'm like, you see here, I've entered. Even if the devil, you know. So I was really excited, and I really like just took a moment one day. I remember and took a moment and just thanked God. I'm like, yo, I get honey, like the preparations were bad and all of that, but like, yo, Lord, you did it for me, you know. So I was really grateful, very, very grateful. But what I can say to another upcoming artist out there who is like looking into recording, like, bruh, like, let's be serious. Please take your time. Please plan before you plan to fail. As my dad always says, like, please plan before you plan to fail. I will repeat this. And like, just take your time. I've also realized that, like, ministry, you know, there's writing songs to sing because you can sing, and there's ministry, ne? And for me, it took me a very long time to realize that I'm not really a good singer, but I'm a minister of song, you know. So such things require prayer, they require planning, they require advice, because I never went to anyone who has recorded and I'm like, bro, like, how did you do it? You know, like, how did you come about it? I was just like, I have the bag, I'm going for it. You know, so seek for advice, pray about it, plan for it, because your girl didn't. And that's the biggest mistake I've ever done, because one thing that I'll tell you, people want quality. It doesn't matter who you are, or it doesn't matter who you think you know, people are looking for quality. And like, just pray about it. Pray about it. I did not pray about it. I only thanked God after doing it. And that's not how it's supposed to be. You have to pray about it, you have to plan about it, and you have to seek advice for it. So yeah, also if you are looking into recording, just check out this guy, Maumela. He has a production company. It's called TD Productions. He does really good stuff, and he's really affordable. He even does singles. I will post a picture of his company on the screen right now, okay? And yeah, you can also look at Rofhiwa Studio, or anyone that you prefer, but plan for it. Like, really, really take your time to plan. And if you are a believer like myself, pray about it. Like, there's nothing that is above God. There is nothing that God cannot do. I'm sure if I had included him in my plans, I would have done better, because I'm sure he would give me some advice. Sorry, like, child, just plan for it. Like, you know, there's nothing that Fiona, you know. So yeah, although he might not say it himself, he surely would have sent someone to tell me that, girl, you need to relax, or you need to plan, you know. So, but because I did everything without inviting him, so yeah, that is my story. This video took long, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's my story of how I came to record my album. And also, I'm just grateful that I got help. Like, otherwise, maybe if Oxygen did not offer me the offer till today, maybe I probably would not have recorded, because there's no one who will freely call you to their studio to say, bro, like, I feel like you can sing, like, don't you want to pop up? It's not, that's not how it works, unfortunately. So if you are privileged to like receive help, guys, be grateful. But more than being grateful, I will say again, plan before you plan to fail. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope you took something from this whole rambling and fumbling, and I hope you did have a nice time. I hope you laughed a little, like, what's kind of too serious, baby? Because I hope that I was also not too serious. So I hope that you did enjoy this video. Please, one more time, give this video a thumbs up, and please press the notification bell so you get notified each time I post a video. Also, if you are new, baby, and you enjoyed this story, please press that subscription button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, and I love and appreciate you so much. Stay loved, stay beautiful, and just know that you are appreciated. If basa appreciate you, and I'll appreciate. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video.